Today we're making wholemeal pie crusts. Here are our ingredients: a cup and a half of flour, 75 grams of butter, a teaspoon of baking powder, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and cold water for mixing. Now these quantities that you see here are actually 3 times what I said because I've tripled the recipe because I'm making a whole bunch of pies all at once. But those quantities are enough to make one large 25 centimeter diameter pie. We mix the dry ingredients, the flour, baking powder and salt, and then cut the butter into chunks, and we rub this together into the flour. Once the butter's rubbed in, you'll have a crumbly mix, something like this. And we're going to add some cold water and stir it in bit by bit until it starts to form a very stiff dough. We don't want it to get too sloppy. We want it to be quite stiff for our purposes. So just add enough water to make that dough little by little. We then take our dough and we put as much as we need into the size pie dish that we're using. We're just going to use our fingers to press it out into a thin layer all the way out to the sides and all the way up the sides of the pie dish. Once the dough is spread out into the pan, you put it into the oven preheated to 180 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes until it's lightly golden brown. And there we have our homemade wholemeal pie crust, ready for filling and then baking with the pie filling.